What up? What up? What up, Mac Heads and Maniacs? We're back with another episode of KM Video Live Streams. We got Erwin. He's one of our maniacs, always in the chat room. He hit me up, wanted to hit us from the front line. Though I was expecting him to be out there with the armed guard, the National Guards, state police, he won't be there, but he'll let you know why he's not there. So here go Erwin from the 612. What up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How y'all doing out there, man? How the family doing and everything, man? Good to see y'all and be with y'all.
Introduce yourself, man. Tell us a little something about you.
Well, my name's Erwin Thompson. I'm originally from a little town called Bells, Tennessee, man. I'm a hillbilly that, you know what I'm saying, wanted to make his way across the Mason-Dixon line, and, you know what I mean, ended up in Chicago for a little while when I was much younger. We talking about 30 plus years ago. And then, they talking about it was sweet in Minnesota. So I slid on up that way, man, making them geographics, man, trying to, see a brighter day. And then I just kind of stayed after that. I got here in about 93. I'm also, father, husband, a black man, small business owner. Eventually, man, took the long route to become educated. I went back to college as an adult learner. Ended up, going from GED to master's degree in 6 flat years. You know what I mean? And God, made sure all that was happening, man. And so from there, I want to, get in a position to be of service to my people. You know what I mean? Let's be clear about that. I want to be of service, but I also want to earn a little money too. So I went to school and got a master's degree in social work, and ended up becoming clinically licensed, and started my own, after some trials and tribulations, started my own private practice in regards to mental health as a mental health professional. And it just kind of panned out that way. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm a husband and a father. I got a couple of little ones, you know what I'm saying? And I have my youngest is 12 years old. He's my son Riley, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to help him dodge some of the things I hear some of you guys have went through, and some of the stuff that his old man went through too. And so it's from that point tonight that or this afternoon that I come to you. I don't know, you want me to elaborate any further?
No, that's great. Before we really get going, I want to know how you found out about kevmacvideos.
Hey, man, it's crazy. I found out about you. I'm always surfing, and man, I like looking and listening to gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? So I actually came through you for watching your interview, man, with Alex Alonso. That's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched him. I heard you talking about Ice. I actually met Ice one time downtown Minneapolis at this club called Grand Slam. You know what I mean? And he really does. Don't drink alcohol. He drank milk. That's what he was doing. And so I heard you talk about Ice. I was like, okay. Then you start talking about the historical context. So of the LA gangs, and I've always been interested in that. You know what I mean? Because I came through Chicago, so they spell theirs out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you can grab any old head in Chicago, and they'll give you the history. At least that's what it was my idea. And I'm friends with a lot of those guys as well. That changed their lives, and that what I'm saying, we all move in the same circles. But so I was always been interested in, man, how things happen from beginning to end, man. I mean, what I'm saying? Of course, I read a little bit of Monsters book here and there. I was interested even back then with Leon Bean, who was the person that, him and his little brother came through. I can remember, man, in my early 20s, hanging out in the library, man, with nowhere to go, man, homeless, whatever. And I just ran up in there, man, and was reading. I was interested, you know what I mean? And the thing that got my ears, it said gangster. So I started reading it. And so I had been in tune with it, so I'll say since like 90, 91. So I had been hearing about you guys, but I still was like, it was something missing. It's like I wanted to know, you know what I mean? What really make them click like that? Because I can just see all of a sudden they just pop up and start shooting each other. And so that history, that when you brought that history thing to the forefront, I want to check that out, man. And you laced it, man. It's so important, the work that you're doing, man. Because I see this as healing. You know what I mean? The reason I even came to holler at y'all today, man, because I'm looking for some healing as well with the goings on that's happening out here, man. And I see you cats healing, like, my heart goes out to that, man. I just, And I also got an opportunity to meet with Elder Caesar. You know what I mean? You hooked us up, man. And me and I rap, man. And that was pretty cool, man. We just sit down, man, and just had a conversation, man. And we ended up doing nothing about no gangster shit. It ended up being about politics and being a father. And he made me feel appreciated because I was telling him, man, like, yo, I ain't no killer. You know what I mean? I ain't never done nothing like that. He was like, man, it takes all kinds, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he connected me to a story about Tyson, however you say his name, his brother, and how Mike is. You know what I'm saying? And how all that's necessary for us to heal as a people. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. So anyway, that's how I got in contact with you. And I think the first video I saw after I watched you on the Duke and Fruit King, Street Knowledge, whatever you call it. Okay. After that, I started checking you out. My first video was Big U. I watched that one. That's the first. I think that was the first one. I know it was kind of, they all kind of just, I got on to you. You know what I mean? And then, I know, man, the Pretty Boy, the Still Caesar, and you know what I'm saying? So I got on to all of that, man. And one that really made me interested at that time. They all are the same. Ain't no perfect one for me. Ain't no favorite. You know what I mean? But really was enticing and just made me feel like, wow, that's them dudes serious about that, man. They've been that way since the 70s when he wasn't cute, when he wasn't, you know what I'm saying, online. You know what I mean? You when no movies, no videos, was Miz. And I heard Miz talk about the starting of 9-0, how they started 9-0 and how they went from used to be Hoovers to, you know, who they are today. And so it's just so much stuff here. I can go on and on about how I got on to you and what keeps me coming. But I'll tell you that the healing and the triumph that happens that you guys do is it's just amazing to witness. I'm not shocked, but I am impressed because I do know that we are an amazing people, man. We just are. You know what I mean? We have to be.
Well, I want to commend you on your master's and being a business owner. I want to ask you what type of business, but I think the name of that book you was talking about was Do or Die.
Yeah.
And, And what kind of business do you have?
I'm a mental health professional, bro. I run a, you know, man, I'm a therapist, man. I work with cats, man. Well, work with everybody. Children, adolescents, male, female, and whatnot in regards to and the improvement of mental health. In regards to, you know, trauma and just anything, really, you know what I mean? I went to school and got trained, man, but this is stuff my grandmama told me, man. You know what I mean? This is stuff that I've learned in the barber shop. This is stuff that I learned, you know, even standing on those street corners sometimes, man. Participate in, you know, things I shouldn't have been. Even though some of the heads that, you know, knew that I really wasn't that guy would tell me, man, you need to, you know, be true to who you are. And so all that stuff allows me to put me in a position, and so because of that, you know what I mean, I reconnect, man, with you guys, man, because I understand that, you know what I'm saying, based on the passes I received, I need to go back, man, and do what's necessary, man, to, you know, uplift folks as best I can, and I have a realistic view about that. So yeah, that's what I do. I got my own little office, man, my own little space, man, and where I can, you know, maneuver in a way that's, you know, beneficial, of course, financially, but also beneficial to my people, where we can have discussions. Black people still ain't just crazy about therapy, but we're a lot better about it than we used to be.
So with all this rioting going on out there for George Floyd, is your business in danger of being burned?
No, but it got, well, not even so much as being burned. My business is, because I do what I do, Kev, man, it is not necessary for me to be in the space. The space is more so I can go pick my check up. The rest of it is that, you know what I'm saying, I can go, you know what I'm saying, I'll get with a cat at a park, you know what I mean? I'll get with somebody, man, in their front yard. You know what I mean? I can move like that. But across the street from my office, yeah, they got pretty, you know, heated. But before they got to the point where they start kicking and breaking stuff in, they put a presence out there and they closed all the stores and boarded them up. You know what I mean? But it was a hot spot. It was getting ready to be a hot spot, but it was averted.
So what's the mood like out there?
Well, the mood is I mean, based on what I've seen, it's just like it's an unrest, man. It's an uprising. Well, just kind of like, I mean, it's exactly like what y'all experienced in '68 and again in '92. It's the exact same thing. You know what I mean? You know what you had was some people standing up, man, and protesting. And then you've seen another element came because of the high emotion, the emotions that come along with what we just sit there and witnessed. A man being murdered, being, you know, in front of us on camera, and almost like, look at this, you know what I mean? And people they're upset, man. Those who have the fortitude, the ability to move past that and see, you know what I'm saying, what it really is, they did that. But the rest of us that was just mad, you know what I mean? Because I'm mad too. The rest of us just mad that don't have that ability to move past that. Well, we start tearing shit up. And yesterday, when I was down by the 3rd precinct, you know what I mean, you could see that it was still on, and, you know, it was on and cracking. I mean, it was, you know what I mean, people ripping and running, man. It was just complete anarchy, man. And it wasn't so much that it was frightening for me, you know what I mean, because I'm not that important, and people just, you know, I'm just not somebody gonna do something too. You could just see the people running back and forth on this again unrest, man, and they were they cut off the street, so you can get about 2 blocks right before the police station. You could get about 2 blocks, right? And they had that all shut off, no police present at all. You know what I mean? None. And then around about it's on the main street, Lake Street. It goes, you know, Lake Street runs quite a ways. It goes from Minneapolis and on into the suburbs, and it turns into another street. And so Lake Street all the way down was pretty much blocked off. My barbershop is a couple blocks from where it was too. And now they did a little something to it, you know what I mean, but nothing like the other stuff they did. I mean, they broke a window and I think stole a TV and a few clippers, you know what I mean. But outside of that, one of the barbershop guys slid down there and boarded everything up and stood in front of it until everybody went on about their business. Very direct in what they were trying to do, man. I see that, you know what I mean, is that those people that were coming to come up, they was, you know, coming up. That's what they was going to do. But the other folks who was there to you know, support that man's memory, support George's memory, they did that. You know what I mean? And they're still doing that. I also, you know what I mean, I look at it from a different lens. I don't blame none of them. You know what I mean? When you stood on somebody, I mean, literally, figuratively, stood on somebody's neck from the way our neck has been stood on for so long, that's kind of what you get. But it's what's kind of sad and kind of obvious to me. It looks the exact same way to everybody. The exact same way to me. From the ones I've witnessed, I saw on TV, from back in the '60s, like what you guys in LA went through in '92, and other ones, they all fit the same pattern. We destroy our neighborhoods. We destroy, you know what I mean? And again, I don't blame us, because trauma, historical trauma based and born out of, and I think Elder Professor Mel said it best, mercurial mindset. All that means is historical trauma. That shit's passed down to us genetically. You know what I mean? That shit's passed down to us genetically. And so by it being passed down to us genetically, when you force us into a corner, all we know, since we've been stripped of so much, is to start tearing shit up. And what I'll do, you know what I mean, is just look, I'll show you, I'll kill me. You know what I mean? I'll hurt myself, you know what I mean? Because I ain't got no asset. I don't have access to you like you do to me. Because, you know what I mean, let's be clear, the dominance culture murder game is spectacular. Right. We'll never have a murder game like that. You know what I mean? And because it's not in us like that. It's just not. Every hitter I know, I see you all the time, man. I see how you show love. You won't be doing a bunch of talking, but boy, you love dogs. You know what I'm saying? You love dogs. You know what I mean? You might, you know, got enemies, but you know what I'm saying? A dog is, you know, you're gonna show love. Because, man, you and I both, man, we are the parents of this civilization. You know what I mean? in order for us to get to where we got to, I mean, that's what white people say. That's what the oldest bones was found. So if that means the oldest bone was found ever, that means you and I are the parents and the dads in this situation. So we interact with folks like we parents. Even if we try to suppress that shit, do a bunch of dope and whatever we do, you know what I'm saying? It just comes up. You know what I mean? And so now, you know, you take me and put me in this position where my murder game ain't tight as yours, but I'm sick of your ass, man. I'm tired of you killing me, man. You know what I mean? I'm really tired of that. You know, and I want to do something. I'm not just hurt, man. I'm mad. I want to fuck you up. Mm-hmm. So that's where it comes out. And it comes out that way because, I mean, that's how it is. I would love to be able to tell you that, you know what I'm saying, to try to make sense of this shit, Kev, but it's not making sense out of it.
Yeah. Whatever you say regarding this, it's not going to make sense to somebody, whether it's you, me, or whoever's listening. But it just comes to a boiling point, man.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned the riots of 65 and 92 in LA. Ice Cube been talking about that shit ever since then.
Yeah.
You know, and he's probably one of the most sought after right now in public media to get his response. And he's not ready to say good morning, America, because America's in a bad state right now. But you laid it out in plenty of lyrics for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you remember back then, prior to the riots, when NWA came out, and back when Chuck D was popping and KRS-One and them, they wanted to silence us for speaking our truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just one of many reasons why I even have this platform and allow people like yourself or some of the guys like Rockhead, Cutes, and them to come on, because we have a voice too. And sometimes our opinions are different, they vary, and so it's nice to get different perspectives from our own people. And this way we can express our concerns and we can look for solutions and just get the information out there, because a lot of information doesn't get to our people and we're not receptive to it. If somebody reputable or somebody smart isn't the ones presenting the information.
You bring is interesting. You're always interesting. Brilliant minds. That's all I ever see on it. Brilliant minds. My understanding of brilliance goes past the academic trend. You know what I mean? All that old other shit they say you got to be brilliant. It's just brilliance that happens in here. With what I see, brother Rockhead talk, and I see you guys in some of the necessities of what was taking place during those times when, you know what I'm saying, the gang banging, the whole context and Bloods and Crips being introduced into that that arena of the prison system and all that, and what Joe Rockhead and them had to go through so folks could do time and without being, you know what I'm saying, being fucked with or being ran over. That was necessary, man. All that stuff was necessary. So now for the other side, you know what I'm saying, to transcend that skill set, you know what I mean, it's been pretty phenomenal to witness and watch people do that, right? And I can remember talking with I remember listening to Papa T, and just the what he displays, man, out of his mouth, man, and how he sets, you know what I mean, the table for you, know what I'm saying. If you follow some of this stuff, man, I mean, because he's very brilliant mind, and you follow some of this stuff, but then you also got the other side. I remember watching them brothers from Bebop Watch, Bebop Watch, the old head, man, said, you know, you mind your own, you live long. You know what I mean? So I listen to that stuff. I put that stuff into practice right now. You know what I mean? And I also, I don't mean to be a thief, but I take y'all information, man, and try to wove it into those guys that I know that I work with, who are still connected. You know what I mean? And I already understand because I'm black. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point about the being held down and all that kind of stuff. But the fact to provide something in a way to where it allows them freedom and a choice. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, man, choices are very limited. You know what I mean? They just are. You know what I'm saying? Contingent on financial stuff, locality, and all that other stuff. And then on top of that, just cause you come see me and you've been feuding with somebody don't mean that you feel good, that you can just go back where you was at and that dude, it's good with what you just did. You know what I mean? And so I get to take all that into context, man. And I've been able to be assisted in what I do, based on some of the stuff I've learned from you guys. Let's be clear. I think you grow. To me, learning is synonymous with growth. Hey, man, you grow until you go. You know what I mean? Death is about not growing anymore. You know what I mean? That's how we leave. So I'm gonna always be in a position where I can learn something, man. You ain't got to have a particular credential or nothing for me to learn something from you. I am not the smartest person I know, and I never will be. I'm probably ain't even in the top 50 in my life. You know what I mean? I've been schooled many ways by many different people, and I've been, you know what I'm saying. I also have to pay homage to the Kefra Institute that's here, man, in Minnesota, man. That taught me about, that really connected me to my history started before slavery. I don't give a shit what they teach me. You know what I'm saying? It started before slavery. I've been the descendant of people who created institutions, academic institutions and colleges, you know what I mean, before, the rest of the world even knew, you know what I mean, plumbing and the whole nine. And so, but I've been privy to that, man. And I've always liked a good story. I don't really give a shit where it comes from. I always like a good story. Even if you're lying, I like a good story. So, those things, that kind of that question, that thirst for knowledge is you know what I'm saying, allows me to keep coming back to you. Keep coming back to the platform, keep coming back to the channel, because I know that y'all got it good over here, man. You know what I mean? It ain't even about a greeting. It ain't my business, man. You got a product, man, and I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like it and I fuck with it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And I like, what I like about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know what I mean? I go to the butcher shop, you know what I mean? I pick up steaks. They sell liver. I don't gotta buy that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm there to get steaks. And so I come over here, man, to get steaks, and whatever else is happening, it ain't my business. You mind your own, you live long. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is. And I just, I just really have a good time. But you was talking about what's happening in Minneapolis. Another thing that's trend. Well, I think they arrested the cop or something. What? As a matter of fact, I know they arrested him. I seen on news. So now the thinking is that it's supposed to settle down, and I think that's true up to a point. But let's be clear: what was in play prior to the uprising or prior to the burning of the buildings is still in play. You know what I mean? It's still in play. Minneapolis is a little different. Well, yeah, it's a little different in that, you know what I'm saying, they'll give you the whole rope to hang yourself. You know what I mean? Well, other folks, they pull it in real tight because, Minneapolis is, you know what I mean? I came here with, I don't know, 2 pair of shoes and a couple shirts and pants. And, look how things turned out legally. You know what I mean? And so it has the appearance that, okay, everything's good. Well, at least it used to before Donald Trump got elected, that everything's good. It's fair treatment. I can remember coming here in 93, and after about a week, I was like, this is America. I'm so glad I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And then I stayed for a little while. What you've seen today that got caught on camera, the other day that got caught on camera, those dudes have been in play in Minneapolis a long time. You know what I mean? They've been in play a long time. And that unrest had been, I question, it's been all over the country, but it's been here a long time. It's just that, you know what I'm saying, they kind of smooth it over with this Minnesota nice thing. And I love it. Don't get me wrong, I ain't going nowhere. When it gets cold, I can't play this shit. But plus I'm getting old, man. The cold fucks with me. If you what's being showed and what's being taught is 2 different things. I don't know how I can put it in a way. They'll raise hell and allow us to be who we are for a moment, right? Excuse me. But it'll go back to what it was, and what I'm starting to see that wasn't, didn't used to be like that. It's this overt racism in Minnesota. It didn't used to be. It was there, but it wasn't like it is now. Where you got, again, I think Trump brings it out of some folks, but what's happening now is, it's ridiculous for Minnesota. It doesn't, feel the same.
Let me ask you, do you think economical power would help us as a people?
I do, you know what I mean? I do, and I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to go too far off on whatnot, but I guess Kev, you might have to school me on that one. Economical power. I know that. What flush that one out a little bit more for me.
Income. If we had money, if we had income, because we do got a powerful dollar in America, man. We spend a lot of money with other people on their products and stuff. And their wig stores, their beauty shops, and nail salons, and grocery stores, and malls, and car lots, and so on and so forth.
Right.
But if you think we had a higher pay scale, more income per household, you think we would be in the same situation we're in now or not?
I think we'd be better off on the surface. When you talk about us getting economical power, that connects me back to that stuff that happened in Black Wall Street in Oklahoma. Again, another historical trauma thing that passed down in our genetics, man. And people might not see this the way I see it. I think it would be better, but it's a historical trauma in that it's passed down genetically. In that, even with the money piece, well, we got to get some money, man. They blew up our town. You know what I mean? And I don't, I don't know about you. I said this and I was being a little presumptuous to one of my friends. I was saying, like, man, even when I get a certain amount of money, I get paranoid, even if it's legal. You know what I mean? I get paranoid, even if it's legal. And he was like, man, I'll get all the money. I ain't scared of nobody. But you know what I'm saying? To me, I do. And why am I scared when I got some money, Kev?
I have to think it's it's the same reason, but I think you're scared your people will rob you or the government will come take it away from you.
But I have no reason to believe you're going to rob me, man. As a matter of fact, all my money is in credit cards and in the bank. You practicing when you rob me most of the time.
You shouldn't have no problem.
Exactly. But
I'm thinking from a street point of view, and from my background, I was one of them looking for the one with the money, and I'm gonna go try to get it. But the easy way is to ask you, how can I build with you? How can I be part of what you're doing? And if you don't accept that, then they got to go the hard way. But that's when I was young. I don't think like that no more.
Man. You know what I'm saying? I watched Sprung. You know what I'm saying? So I know you will go get it. So what I'm trying to say, what would once upon a time, what I'm trying to say to you, Kev, that I have no reason to be afraid.
Right.
I have no reason to be afraid at all, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's one context. The other context is, dude, I'm up every morning looking at my bank account.
Right.
You know what I mean? Making sure nobody move nothing nowhere. You know what I mean? It doesn't, dude. It's the same money it was yesterday. You ain't got no check or nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I do believe that, man. You know what I'm saying? Even when I would do my deal, I call myself being in the streets or whatever. I ain't never had no money. You know what I'm saying? But I still have that amount of fear, and I'm talking about that fear. You're talking about economical power. I'm talking about if I exerted myself even more, Kevin, I could get more money. You know what I'm saying? But it's a certain point about, I don't want them looking at my books. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to have to be held to a certain level of accountability, man, because I opened up this funding stream with this company or with this insurance company. You know what I'm saying? I don't need all that. You know what I mean? And it's just, I really can't explain it. So I think that some of us, and everybody don't think like me. Of course they don't. Some of us are growing exponentially financially. You know what I'm saying? I watched Big U, man, how he opened it up, how his thing. I'm like, man, he got so much. You know what I'm saying? So many things going on, man. Damn. You know what I mean? Wish I had that type of, you know what I'm saying, drive and whatnot, man. And I watch other cats that work with you, man. I be watching my tribe rise and Joe Rock and the thing he does. And I'm like, they pushing. You know what I mean? And them dudes know so much about nonprofit. I'm like, man, I had that as a class, man, in grad school, and they don't know that shit. You know what I mean? And so I understand that. You know what I mean? On a macro level, overall, overreaching thing, I get it. But I think that some people are pushing that way. But of course, it will improve us to a certain level of whatever. But sometimes we turn on each other so fast.
And that's what I was talking about, the robbery. But to your points, I tell Big, I used to tell Big U all the time, I couldn't be Big U because he does so much and gets so little sleep. I love my sleep. And I don't like to be tired when I get out in the streets. And he does an amazing job at being all over the place and to get it. But to your other point about money, I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't say I know how you feel, but I've been at casinos, man, where a lot of people that were scared to win a lot of money, scared to leave out the casino with the money. They felt like they would get robbed. They felt like these mob bosses would kidnap them and kill them, break their legs, or after what you were saying, that the government put you in a high tax bracket and tax you for the money. So I know what you're saying. A lot of our people, but I don't even think it's just our people. I think it's people that come from poverty that are scared of getting in that next tax bracket and about what comes with that and worrying about them looking at your bank account and your lifestyle and all that type of stuff. Me personally, I never worry about that, but I did always think there would be times people would want to rob me, and that's why I kept automatic weapons when I had money like that. You know? Because I know how we get down, I know how I thought, I know how my partners thought and how they got down.
I mean, you know what I mean? I mean,
and that's why I tell people, you know, some of the people in the comment section, you never know if they trolls or if they just disagree with you. Or just want to be argumentative. But that's why I always say self-accountability is important because I made those choices when I decided to do wrong or do good. Those are the choices I was given. Now, sometimes we don't have a choice. Like Mr. Floyd, he didn't have a choice. He complied, he did everything he was asked to do. This pig jumps on his neck and kills him. And his co-workers help assist him in death. And the little short, fat-faced motherfucker didn't do nothing to stop it. I mean, and like Hughes was saying, those people that was there filming, I'm not necessarily mad at the person filming because we wouldn't know about this shit had he not filmed it. But those other people that stood around complaining and shit, they could have went around the car and tried to knock that motherfucker up off of him. You know what I mean? But just the fear of cops, and that's the whole plan, is to put that fear in us so we don't rise against them.
Kev, you know, like I know, the most Barney Fifers are one of them motherfuckers, but knock your ass down without thinking about it. Without even thinking about it.
I was just looking at a video, not to cut you off. Looking at a video where the cops flipped over this old grandmother, man, because a young black dude was being detained or arrested in the front yard. She came outside like, you know, y'all be easy on him, leave him alone, and they done flipped her. So you're right. They don't have no regard for us as a people. It don't matter if you're elderly or you're young. It just don't matter to them. Go ahead.
But you are so we the most Barney Fifers of them will knock you down, including Barney Fife. But then that too, man, has this. You and I and our ancestors were affected by the trauma of slavery. We were by chattel slavery. And white people were too. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's, if they never acknowledge it, because they just as fucked up as we in behind it, except it's just a different way. You know what I mean? It's just that, you know, I mean, you can go back and see lynchings, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're seeing them now. That was the one we saw the other day. That was a lynching. Back in the day when they got those pictures and they got those little kids sitting right there smiling. Well, those are people's great-great-grandmothers and great-great grandfathers that was sitting there while there was a black man up in the tree, tarred, feathered, and dipped in oil and burnt. You know what I mean? And so that child saw that. You know what I mean? And so if it's passed down genetically to us, it's passed down to them. So we never ever really have. I'll be honest with you. I personally believe it with some of them, but for the most part, we never have, as black folks, made the turn to be considered as human. I mean, that's why you would just kill us in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? I will leave my motherfucking knee on your neck in front of everybody while you film. I'll look directly into the motherfucking camera. This is what you got coming if you fuck with me. You know what I mean? This is what you got coming. And so see if that's sick. And so you got the white girl that wanted to help, you know what I'm saying, and do her part or whatnot, but she's so few and far between. You know what I mean? She's so few and far between that will actually step up. Now all of them don't agree with it, but that will actually step up. But even her stepping up only went to so far. She didn't go over there and put her hands on his ass. You know what I'm saying? And she's a fireman. She's an EMT/fire person. Yep, gave them her number when she was there. You know what I mean? And so we only go so far. So to me, what happens in that context is that the reason that certain people ain't gonna move a certain way is because of how it impacts them after this moment. It's a survival technique, man. You know what I'm saying? You and I are taught to survive. We just are. We're good at it. You know what I mean? I know, you know what I'm saying? You talked about, you know what I'm saying, living lavish. You know what I'm saying? And so it ain't living lavish. Most people jump out of wonder if they can't keep living lavish. You know what I'm saying? And so you went back to the grind and start making things happen. You know what I'm saying? Some of my old heads tell me around here, everybody can't do bad good. You know what I mean? And so moving from point A to point B, even, and when I was used to a certain thing, it's just kind of ingrained in us to do that type of shit, right? But, it's my man, sometimes we got to get a little bit past surviving and start living. You know what I mean? But we got to survive until we can start living. That's what my mom said. So, I mean, it's sad, but it's almost, you know what I mean? If you flush all of it out, even the burning of the buildings, even the looting, even the, you know what I'm saying? If you flush it all out, it makes sense. And that's what's happening in regards to trauma. You know what I mean? And one of the tenets of recovering from trauma is healthy meaning making. Right now, the meaning making isn't healthy. You know what I mean? The meaning making. That's what they teach me in school. It's meaning making. Once you get to a healthy meaning making, you can keep on moving past the trauma. But right now, that's what it makes sense. I'll burn this motherfucker down. You know what I'm saying? That's just what's happening right now. You know what I mean? And
well, you know what? I'm guilty of saying what you just said. This is what's happening now. Mm-hmm. But to be politically correct, this is what's been happening. It's not happening now. It's been happening my whole life. Right. Obviously, before I was born, it was going on. Yeah. Before the 65 riots, it was going on. That's what all the protests have been about. Yeah. But I want to address something real quick. So I've seen in the comment section a few people going back and forth. And I remember what my mother used to tell me in the late 80s. The only way, well, what she said, it don't mean what she said was true. But she said the only way we was going to stop all this violence and this, police harassment in our community was to join forces with them, is to become policemen, lawyers, doctors, district attorneys, judges, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. And that probably would help a lot. But the mindset of our people is that now you're on the other side. Now you're just as guilty as them. Why join their team? Why become part of the problem? And so on and so on and so on. Mm-hmm. And our people, we need common ground. We need to find some things that we all can agree on. Mm-hmm. And then start moving in that direction. But as long as we stay argumentative against everybody's ideas and solutions, we'll continue to be looked at as the less fortunate, the ignorant, the targets, et cetera. But, we've been talking, and I'm just throwing myself out there with everybody else because I'm not one that has been talking. But now I am talking about it but we have to move towards solutions. And we have to wean out the naysayers because we got so many distractors. I don't know if it's intentional or if we just traumatized, like you were saying earlier about the getting money.
Mhm.
We just can't agree on much. And so my comment toward the comment section is it's a lot more complex than what my mother was saying. And for those that saying what she was saying 30, 40 years ago, you're just talking just like everybody else is just talking. You're no different than my mother and the people her age because we're in the same state that we was in 30, 40 years ago and prior to that as well. So we have to become, more on the same page than not on the same page in order to start moving forward. But as long as we stay, like Bodacious said yesterday, I don't know if you've seen Bodacious.
I caught some of it.
As long as we steady having groups, Crip, Blood, light skin, dark skin, California, Texas, Louisiana, New York. As long as we stay separated, man, we're not gonna get nowhere. We just even the thought of different groups going toward the same goal is so far fetched right now because it's like everybody want to put everybody down. Which reminds me, not to point any fingers. I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm not chastising nobody. But I wanted to ask you a question earlier, which I'm just thought of. Are there any celebrities or athletes? Because Minnesota is a good basketball team, a good football team. Are any of them dudes or females speaking out about this violence? Are any of them out there with the protesters with a voice?
Not so much as I haven't noticed in particular Minnesota, but I mean a lot of people are coming from out of town. You know what I mean? I haven't noticed anybody yet. You know what I mean? Because Kev, I, just to protect myself, I don't watch all of it. You know what I mean? So I haven't seen anybody yet, but I do know people are coming from out of town. Like I think Bon B just got here. You know what I mean? Jesse Jackson was here the other day, and Al Sharp and all them. So I can't say right now. Yeah. So I can't say that they are or not because I haven't watched every piece of it. And sometimes, man, some of the celebrities in Minnesota, I give them credit for this. They do shit on the slumber. You know what I mean? And they don't, you know what I mean, or like overtly are out with it. Because Larry Fitzgerald is from here. You know what I mean? And his dad still lives here. You know what I mean? So at least some parts of the year he does, as I remember it. So I don't really know. You know what I mean?
I know Stephen Jackson was supposed to be a friend of Mr. Floyd. So I know Stephen Jackson has spoke up. I've seen Al Sharpton, like you said. But I didn't know Jamie Foxx and Trey was out there. So good luck out, DJ Jones. Appreciate it.
So you brought so much interesting stuff to the floor about becoming a part of that system. I think that's kind of what I kind of do. You know what I mean? And it's a delicate mix because I don't want to get too, you know what I mean, too deep and whatever, because I do have confidentiality laws and all that kind of stuff that I want to adhere to, but in the work that, you know what I'm saying, that I do, let's be clear, you know what I'm saying? Once your probation officer refer you to me, I'm then a part of that system. You know what I mean? Because he's going to see records and get reports and all that stuff. But my thing is to work myself out of job. You know what I'm saying? Make me be irrelevant. You know what I mean? You know how you can tell probation officers and parole officers, fuck you. But if you show them fuck you, you know what I'm saying? In that no more offenses, no more new cases, successful completion, moving on with your life and all that stuff. That, you know what I'm saying, is the way to ensure that we go away. You know what I mean? You can't just tell us fuck you and we go away. That's not how that works. As a matter of fact, we're going to stay even more entrenched. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a probation officer, not a cop, but sometimes I get referrals. And so that makes me a part of that system. So I think that, you know what I'm saying, it's a delicate mix. And like your mother said, I think that, you know what I'm saying, that she was giving me what she thought. She's like, I mean, sometimes you have to, we throwing shit up against the wall and see if it stick, man. in regards to in regards to us moving as a people, man. We just, I mean, I got all this information about trauma, and you know what I'm saying, they'll bring your minds or whatever, man. But at the end of the day, man, we need some hope. So what I've done, you know what I mean, what I've been starting to do, like this morning, man, my wife, man, my son's super square, man, super square. Real smart kid, man, advanced learner, whatever, man, and all that. So his friends don't look like him sometimes. You know what I'm saying? He's 12 years, we're going to be 12. And so one of his friends is white, and one day they walked home from school some time ago. And so his mother texted my wife and told her who she had been talking to her son, who was a little white boy. And she was telling them, this is what gives me hope. She was telling them that Riley is my son's name. He may be afforded to a position where he's put in the same position as Mr. Floyd was. And I want you to be there for your friend. That's what she said, right? So, I mean, the hope that I get out of this, if we just keep this shit together long enough, you know what I'm saying, for a different group to get old enough and be responsible and go into power, then maybe we got a shot, or maybe our great-great-grandkids do. Because I think you and I, we hit. You know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is, But what's behind us? And so if I keep my vision on what's behind me, you know what I'm saying, it allows me to feel a little relief in this moment of unrest. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I may be reaching that shit, may be way worse. But, if somebody's mama's talking like that to her 11-year-old son, maybe we got a shot. You know what I mean? Maybe we got a shot. Now, I don't trust it, and I don't believe it's 100%, but I mean, I got to hold on to something. You know what I'm saying? Or go run inside Target.
One of my viewers, one of your fellow maniacs, wants to know if you have your own platform.
No, I mean, in his office, I platform every day in his office, man. I'm like you for the most part. I mean, you guys have put so much in me. You know what I'm saying? Your guys have put so much in, and so I wanted to contribute. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you know what I'm saying? I'm not a reputable, so you know what I'm saying? I don't got that to give you. As a matter of fact, I just don't got to get you. I did one day in the penitentiary. I swear to God, one day. You know what I'm saying? In Oxford, man, USP in the hole. Because I was on the Fed transit for a fucking theft in South Indiana. You know what I mean? So I don't got that to give you. But I don't. You know what I'm saying? No, I work in the field. Like I said, I work in this field, and so I do a lot of training and stuff like that. But do I I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because you are who you are, and I stepped out with y'all, but I don't really like being out there. I don't have thick skin like you guys do. Especially,
right. It's tough, man. It's tough. For real, it's tough.
Yeah.
He said, Josh Norris says, just keep speaking the real, man. That's all that counts.
Yeah. I watch stuff, man. And sometimes I get a little afraid for y'all, man. You know what I mean? Because y'all, you know what I'm saying, love you cats, man. And I get frightened. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks like some of the shit y'all up against, man. I know it's to me it's a little bit different. Like Elder Season I was talking about, like after the Black Panther and the COINTELPRO thing, he put that out there, man, and it probably was happening with Crips and Bloods too. And I agree with that. As a matter of fact, I know they did some similar shit in Chicago because people would hit trains in Chicago, and they started hitting trains, and there was automatic weapons in them trains. You know what I mean? So anyway, I knew that would happen. But I also don't think that shit just went away. You know what I mean? And so I'd be like, man, I hope they ain't. You know what I mean? Because this is what you're doing work. This shit's healing. One time, I need to give you props, man. One time y'all was talking about it, man. Y'all kind of got caught up, man, in the G shit for a minute. And you was like, hold on, man. And you brought the victims into the conversation. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, man, here's what we did. Here's some people that are voiceless in this platform right now. And you brought them in, man. Now that's some G shit. You know what I mean? You brought them in. You know what I mean? And because sometimes, man, I think that's taken out of the context. Y'all my guys, but you ain't did nothing nobody I love. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna ride with you. I'm rocking with you 110%. But there is another piece to that you brought into play, and that's what sets you apart, man.
Yeah, I just try. I don't know what it is. I just always try to get the pros and the cons. So if there's a murderer, there's also a victim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm big on like I said earlier, self-responsibility, accountability. Man, we can't blame our lives on somebody else all the time. It's not always somebody else's fault that things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are occasions where a person, just get the bad end of a stick, but
Yeah.
a lot of times it's the choices we make, and I get mad when I hear people say you have a choice. Yeah, we have a choice, but we don't have a choice in everything in life. Some shit just happens. You don't have a choice if somebody just walk up behind you, shoot you in the head. You didn't have a choice, So, but like you were saying about people have to have thick skin to be on a platform like this. It's tough. It's tough sometimes. What I want to do, what I just started doing is those people that don't have nothing relevant to say about the platform, I just get rid of them because we don't know who we're dealing with. It could be a 15-year-old, a 14-year-old,
or the police.
Yeah, it could be a cop. Suburbs that don't have nothing better to do but come on here and antagonize us. And for all of us that grew up in the so-called hood or around the hood, there's always been those few people that despise the thugs, the hoodlum, the outcasts, the players, the kids with all the girls. So they wanted to become police anyway, and they take it out on you in the streets.
Yeah.
That's just normal shit. And so when you start dealing with white people that come from the suburbs and never even dealt with us, they feel like that times 10. They feel like they come into our community and they're going to restore some order and they're going to do what they want to do. Whether that's take a black life or Rodney King you, or arrest you and falsify the paperwork just because your color or the area you live in. But we up against a lot, man. And there's this guy in the comment section giving all these ways that we can better ourselves. And they're all true, but it just ain't that easy. We're not living in a fantasy world or a perfect world.
And
then let me just say this real quick, Erwin, for those people that's listening that don't really understand or pretend this is a make-believe world. The police start harassing us as teenagers, particularly when you become 18 or 19 years old, 20 years old, because they want to put a felony on you so you can't join police departments. And you know what I'm saying? It starts when you're a teenager, man. Whether it's a plan by somebody higher up or just something that they're indoctrinated with. They know to put them felonies on you, arrest you, even if you're innocent, because that's going to stop you from having the type of power they have. And that same guy was talking about voting. We go through this almost every day. People that follow this platform don't necessarily believe in God, Jesus, the political system, government. So when you're telling people that our political power or become part of the government, it's just not that easy when our people don't believe in that type of stuff. So that's why I say it's more complex than just become a lawyer. Hey, just become part of the police. Hey, become a politician. It's just not that easy if that's not what our people believe in.
It's true. This is true. You back to that. Kind of about that skin thing. You know what I mean? I watch what you do. You know what I mean? And I know that it's gotten great. It's gotten big, and it's gonna get even bigger. You know what I mean? That's just where it's getting right. And nothing gonna stop that. It's that time, man, for you. But what throws me sometimes, man, is that they got channels, man, just to be in opposition directly to what you do, man, on YouTube. I mean, and so I'm like, damn, is it? You know what I mean? I know that you're on the right track. You know what I mean? Because it's just how that is. I mean, there's going to be no need to stop you if you wasn't. Nobody paying no attention. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? I do. You know, I'm a guy that believes in God. I don't know if it's a heaven or hell. You know what I mean? But I got proof that God exists over here. So I don't know about the heaven and hell thing though. So I send up a prayer for you, man, to keep pushing, man, to do what I can do to contribute and whatnot, man, to the platform, keeping good vibes and good thoughts your way, man. So that's that thing. And so, but in regards to joining the system, you know what I mean? This is a by chance thing that I ended up doing what I do for a living. I mean, Kev, I'm serious. GED to master's degree in 6 years flat. You know what I mean? And so it just had to be later. I mean, they paid me to go to grad school. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just went that way, man. Then I'm kind of cat that once I get involved in some, I want to be the best at it. You know what I mean? So therefore, once I got in school, since I got thrown out of school, didn't finish in the traditional sense, I wanted to be on the honor roll every chance I could get. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to finish with Latin honors. I mean, all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it became a competition since I'm there. And I know y'all don't think I could have got to be there, especially those, the people that expelled me from high school. I want to show you something, you know what I mean? And so I pushed, but it happened. And I just kind of, man, it must have been meant because I just ended up there. You know what I mean? But I really tell you, man, that based on some of what I've been through, my name's Erwin Thompson. I'm not on anyone's discovery papers. You know what I mean? Nowhere. You know what I mean? And why is that? Why did that it always work out that way, man? Because I had the kind of mother that told me, man, look, man, you don't come here telling us about what he did, what you do. You know what I'm saying? And so, my mother, man, I swear my mother ain't never been in jail or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how she was, man. I don't want to hear about what he did. What did you do? You know what I mean? And I got a little brother the same way. Well, he's 47 years old, but you know what I mean? That's just how we were reared. You know what I mean? No, we ain't no gangster, but we were told not to tell it. You know what I mean? Do your thing. And so when one of the things that I can, you know what I'm saying, and I don't know if it's a matter of being prideful or anything like that, is that I can't get to no type of resolve within myself if I don't pay attention to me. You know what I'm saying? And so if I'm paying attention to myself, right, it allows me to focus on the little things that I can control, because anything outside of me I can't control in no way. You know what I mean? So I think by staying focused on that thing, man, by staying, I can move. So do we need to become a part of the system? Yeah, but we also got to look at the system. It's an institutional system that never was set up for me and you in the beginning. You know what I mean? So I can become a part of it all I want to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we had our first black president, but the office of president, the institution of president, is a white institution. So Barack can be black all he wants, but he's finna be a president like a white man. You know what I'm saying? That's just how that's getting ready to go. The cops can be black all they want, but you get ready to do police work like a white man, or you getting fired. You know what I mean? Bottom line, you getting fired.
Yeah.
Those are white institutions, and that's just how that is, man. You know what I mean? It's not nothing personal nobody. I can go in there, I can, you know what I'm saying, do a little here and there, maybe cut somebody something a little here and there. But if my ass get caught, you know what I mean? That's that. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why you want the more we often talk about a more representation of us. You know what I'm saying? A more representation. I pay up a little attention to Cam, and I do a little Malcolm X listening, and a little bit of Lewis and Farrakhan listening as well. And I think that if there was a way that, you know what I mean, we can legitimately separate and still have a viable way to make a living, getting back to your economic power thing, then that would be great. But that's what has to happen in order for that to go. We gotta leave here. You know what I mean? And as much as I love y'all, man, I'm not going back to Africa. You know what I'm saying? When it ain't going back, I'm not going. You know what I mean? Because it is what it is. I've never been there. I don't know that. I was born on this, you know what I'm saying, continent and whatnot. So I'm gonna do the best I can to make my life comfortable here. And again, I'm gonna look to the future generations, because we're not as bad off with them as I think we're giving credit for. And also, we need to stop giving the dominant. I need to stop looking at the dominant culture sometimes like they got an end or a connection or a solidarity that we don't have. Because let's be clear, you know what I mean? They turn on each other like it ain't shit. The word turncoat, you know what I'm saying, it came because they turned on each other. Turn states, you know what I mean? They didn't give a shit, Kev. Me and you went in there and told on each other. That law wasn't written for me and you. We don't care if you tell or not. We'll kill both of you. You know what I mean? And we'll make it up. We don't need no evidence. So turn states, turn coke. Same system. You know what I mean? Same system. That shit was for white boys. That wasn't for me and you. You know what I mean? Now people use it, yeah. But it wasn't this, you know what I'm saying? That shit wasn't for us to tell on each other. We don't give a shit. We'll lock you up anyway. And then too, you know what I mean? That's just kind of how some of the things that go that are happening in our community and whatnot, man. But man, stay the course, man, because you're doing a lot of great work, man. You're doing a lot of great work, and as an outsider, man, looking in on Los Angeles, who always admired you cats from a distance, you know what I mean, is necessary because y'all had it harder than we did. Y'all just did, you know what I mean. They were no fucking around. We'll knock your head clean off, dude. You know what I mean? And that's just how it was. It wasn't nothing to be fucked around with. So, and for you guys to make it through that, you know what I mean? I'm impressed, man. I listen to the OGs and whatnot, man, and my man Miz, man. Miz got done talking. I want to get jumped in. You know what I'm saying? Man, this is good, man.
Yeah. The way he smiles and shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah. My homeboys 100%. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I love it, man. You know what I mean? But then there's a reality that all of them, man. And it's another thing I want to share with y'all, man. I know I'm getting off topic, but I gotta say it, man. I have not watched any interview where somebody regretted their decisions to become a part of it. I have not seen one interview where someone regretted their decision to become a part of their hood.
Oh, right.
Speaks volumes. And nobody never said, man, I shouldn't have did that. No, they was like, man, this is what's happened. You know, I'm not proud about it anymore or whatnot. I don't want nobody to follow my path, but no regret. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the authenticness of kevmacvideos.
And I was going to say, that's an authentic member as well, because trust me, there's some weaklings that regret. And let me tell you why that is. Because some people like myself joined voluntarily, whereas some people was forced to join. Some people got slapped up, kicked in the butt, tripped from behind, threat.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't really in them. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times them the ones that broke, when the police interrogations or when they talk about dudes getting sodomized and raped in prison and county jail, because it wasn't never really in them, but they were men enough to stand on their own and say, this ain't me, this ain't what I want to do. One of the biggest myths dealing with gangs and people that aren't in gangs is that gang members view squares as some weakling, some buster. No, the actual fact is we admire the squares that stood on their own and said, I don't want to be a part of that, and went for a job and raised their family and don't have no felonies, and can carry a gun legally or can go buy a house, purchase a house in their real name, and have bank accounts and credit and stuff like that. So I have those conversations with people an awful lot. And we respect the fact that guys were able to either change early on or just not even become involved with gangs.
Yeah. Let me be clear. I've been raised around and all that. You know what I mean? Ever since I can remember that, what I'm saying, people that was about that. You know what I mean? And I don't. You know what I mean? I try to do honor to their memory by the way I live my life today. But I've also, what I'm saying, like I said, I was given passes, man, a lot of passes all over this country, man. You know what I'm saying? I was real conversations, man, for the little times I spent stints in county jails here and there, man, where people have had some, some real serious conversation with me about what it was. And I got a chance to be privy to I got a chance to see a lot of shit, man. You know what I mean? Just see it, you know what I mean? And could hear it, man. And people, they saw something, you know what I mean? And whatever they saw, you have to talk to them. Some of them are passed, and I don't know what they saw. But I've been privy to a lot of stuff, and I can always remember one of them that taught me, man, through his, his life, and that saying that good guys finish last is a myth. You know what I mean? And he said because good guys finish. You know what I'm saying? The mother chumps don't. You know what I mean? So good guys finish college. Good guys finish paying for their house. Good guys, you know what I mean? And so at sometimes, some of the conversations that we have with ourselves, because I got a choice, Kev, on what you tell me, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a choice on what I believe about that. You know what I mean? And my understanding and what makes me why I'm so attracted to Kev Mac videos and I'm a maniac is those things, man, that I've heard, man, and those people. Because you'll turn me on to them, but they sometimes they show up somewhere else. I'm like, oh yeah, that cat, he's one, he's with Kev. Let me check him out, see what he was doing. And I think that, man, little Doc, man, was on that Gangster Chronicle thing. And he was telling about the little homies, you need to slow your roll because you'll find yourself 5 years into a life sentence, and we having a ball game with some guys you just knocked down. You know what I'm saying? So this multifaceted thing, man, that takes place, the work that y'all doing out there. Hey, man, that's crazy, man. Man, y'all. I mean, y'all are necessary, all of them. It ain't just, you know what I'm saying. Everybody that that you put on here have had a intricate part into you guys with the improvement of your community. And I'm witnesses, man. Like I said, man, I'm cheerleading from the sideline, man. I want to slide out there one day, man, to see y'all face to face, man. Hit up M&M's or something. You know what I mean? I want to get out there and watch the softball game, man. Wish y'all
for real.
Yeah, wish y'all let me participate, but I ain't from the hood and I don't want to get jumped in and just play softball.
Hey, man, we can have like a little Mac Head and Maniac softball game. Man, we can set something up.
I didn't got old on them, but it's still my thing. I like to hit that tater. You know what I mean? A long way. You know what I mean? So
we want to talk about old and like to play. We might need a old man's league.
Yeah. That's what I play in the 50 and up, man. That's what I play. I don't play with them kids no more, man. Plus, they got better. They got the equipment they use to allow you to hit the ball further, so I get geeked up off of that. But yeah, man, that's what I do, man. I've always wanted to see Los Angeles. And at one point as a child, as a teenager, my uncle stayed in Inglewood. And I was trying to get out there, man, but I'm so glad he told my ass no, man, when I got done listening to y'all, man. Because I really want to go out there, man. He stayed in Inglewood for a long time. I got cousins that's from there, straight squares. They ain't connected at all. As a matter of fact, soon they got 10, 11, they moved to Texas. But my uncle stayed there. You know what I mean, for a long time, and I was on him. Let me come out. Nah, let me think about it. Nah, and I'm glad he told me no, because definitely I wouldn't have been able to. You know what I mean? I know doubt about me. Plus, I just use a lot of dope, man. Y'all don't never run out. So you know what I'm saying? Back in those days, ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have been, experimenting with stuff the way I was. So, but I still was always interested in California. You know what I mean? Because in the little town I'm from, you know how the South is, man. Somebody always coming from somewhere. It was Los Angeles wasn't as much. We weren't as much influenced by Los Angeles as opposed to the northern states and Oakland. Because a lot of my friends, childhood friends, some of my childhood friends were from Oakland, and we would hear about that, and and things like that. So, yeah, man. Like I said, I'm all in, man, and I want to come out there and hang with y'all. I'm the maniac thing that you was getting ready to do. I was heartbroken. I didn't get yours. You know what I mean? I wanted to get out there so bad, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to put another one together. In fact, we had I don't want to say a round table, but we had a discussion with 4 of us last night that we need to go ahead and make that happen again. But Josh Norris wants to know, do you have any programs that the people can support?
Nah. Well, no, I don't. You know what I mean? I just, I don't. I just I work. I got my own little niche carved out over here in this world, man, and I do the best I can with what I can with the people I see individually in the groups, and I'm more of the type of person that goes into programs as opposed to having a program.
All I got to do is ask Kenya to put the game and the meet and greet together, and I won't have to worry about it. Yeah. At what she do and networking, and she knows so many celebrities and people in different areas. But I got a couple people in the comment section already calling each other out.
Yeah, is that right?
So I'm gonna have to choose what team I want to be on. But
Come
that
on,
would be fun, man. That would be a good day of fun.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can pull that off.
Oh yeah, especially if you have it out in Vegas, they got all kind of fields. They got one called the Field of Dreams, man, and all that shit, man. It's like the Yankee Stadium, Boston, but of course it's a small thing, but it's like mimics or they mark that out in Vegas. Man, Vegas is huge in softball, man. And so yeah, you did in Vegas, man. But I want to go to Los Angeles, man. I want to see you. You know what I mean? If I gotta come to Vegas to fuck with you, I will. You know what I mean? But boy, I want to touch the land y'all from bad, man. You know what I mean? Really want to see that place, man. I mean, I was in Vegas and I seen the little sign that says a couple 100 miles. I was like, I ought to hit it, but I heard about that freeway traffic. I was like,
It's been so empty since this pandemic. People gonna go crazy when they get back to normal.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's been tearing our ass up. That coronavirus thing, and it's, you know what I mean, and based on what the numbers are saying in our community, man. I mean, it's like right on the heels of this shit. You know what I mean? And it's just a real tough time where people are feeling, you know, they're feeling lost, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying, out of control. I mean, and it makes sense. And the work I do, you know what I mean. I have nothing to tell somebody when they come in and tell me about how they're feeling about this. It's not like I say, oh, you're tripping, or no, it's not that way. No, you see exactly what it is. Oftentimes, people doing this work I do will talk to the folks like they don't, you know what I mean. They don't know what they ain't seeing what they see. The truth is, man, folks know more about themselves than I'm ever gonna know. You just met me. You ain't telling me all of what's happening, and you know what I'm saying, because you shouldn't. It makes sense. But yeah, even on the heels of this coronavirus, and man, the dude that in the White House, man, it just totally out of his element. And then, you know what I'm saying? So that's affecting all of us. You know what I mean? Even the ones of us that don't have the virus, that may not be so much in the high risk group. It's still, yeah, I mean, that's just tough, man. It's just a tough time. You know what I mean? It just really is, man. And people are doing all they can to cope. You know what I mean? And do the best they can to just to survive this shit, man. You know, I didn't ran back through your whole, you know, I went back through Pretty Boy a few thousand times. You know what I'm saying? I done went back through Cuse a few thousand times, and you know what I mean? And that's just how I cope, man. I think my whatchamacallit froze up on me.
Yeah, it's frozen. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate coming on and sharing your story and some information. Man, we need to talk again, man. We need to hook up the baseball game too.
Yeah, man, hook it up. Look, bro, I'm there. You know what I mean? I got a couple freaking fly. Hey, it don't even matter. I'm there, bro. You know what I'm saying? So keep up the work, man. I mean, y'all got a special place in my heart, man. And thank you so much for allowing me to contribute a little bit, Kev, man. And just please stay on the grind, man, with this work, man. Because I really appreciate it, man. I don't know about everybody else, but I really appreciate it.
All right, good looking, Erwin. I appreciate the comments, man. You have a good day. You stay safe out there in Minneapolis, bro.
I will, man. Thanks, good brother. Peace.
All right, peace. All right, that's gonna do it for this edition of KM Videos. I probably need a haircut and shave, but you know, this pandemic got me like off my schedule. So you get the real Kev Mac, the authentic, unshaven, scroungy looking Kev Mac. Kenya Ware, what up? Hutch, what up? Thank you guys for the super chats. I'm gonna get out of here. It's Friday, so you know I'll probably be back on later tonight. You know how we do it on Friday evenings. Peace, y'all.